Good morning, everyone. Uh, Welcome to the 2026 season of the St. Peter's Coffee Concerts. It's nice to see so many of you here this morning. I hope you've enjoyed your coffee. So we have Ron Berry playing the organ this morning. He's already poised and ready to go. So he's going to open his program with a piece by Elgar, the Imperial March.
Yes, I'm not sure whether you're allowed to play imperial marches anymore, but never mind. Let's celebrate the Empire this morning. The second piece I'm going to play is in memory, in a way, of its composer, Nigel Ogden, who died a few months ago, I believe. He, for many years, presented the Radio 2 Organist Entertains programme. He was very much a cinema organist, but he kind of it was very much crossover as well. He did made a couple of CDs at Lincoln Cathedral, in fact, and he's written several humorous pieces, of which this is one that I've played many times, called Penguin's Playtime. And I'll interpret it for you if you like, because you may not get it. I expect you will. It says jauntily to start with, so it's a kind of, and then it becomes very smooth and flowing, as if they've got to the ice, they've got to the glacier now, and they're kind of skating along. And then it goes back they go back home to the nest in their jaunty fashion. So Penguin's Playtime by Nigel Ogden, and then I'm going to play a substantial piece of organ music written by Mendelssohn. Last year I played his second Prelude and Fugue. I'm going to play the third one. He wrote 3 Preludes and Fugues and 6 sonatas for the organ. They're very much in the style of Bach. My former colleague David Whittle says that it's not really an organ concert unless you've got a piece of Bach and something French. Well, there is something French later on. I haven't got any Bach, but this will have to substitute for Bach. So it's a Prelude and Fugue number 3. So we start with the jaunty Penguin's Playtime. How is it for quantity round here? Is it all right? Not too much quantity. It's a very difficult organ to assess this because round here it sounds half as loud as it does out here. So, the organist is sort of tempted to think, let's have a few more stops, let's put a few more stops out because it doesn't sound very loud. And then people at the front are going, So, yes, okay, so I'm going to play a piece now by somebody who rejoiced in the name of Reginald Goss Custard. The Goss Custard brothers were quite prominent musicians. I've forgotten the name of the other one, but Reginald was the first organist to be appointed at the new Gothic Cathedral in Liverpool, the proper cathedral in Liverpool. The one that's took about 100 years to build, however, he was the first organist there. And this piece is called Chelsea Fair. It's a lovely piece. I don't think it's based on anything like a folk song. If you can spot a folk song, I can't, but if you can, tell me afterwards. I've looked it up. It just says it's a piece of music written by Reg. So that's all I know. So yes, Reginald Goss Custard, Chelsea Fair. And then to follow is a piece which I heard first when I was a teenager. I had a recording, and this piece was on it. It's called Offertorio. It's written by a Spanish composer called Jesus Guridi, G-U-R-I-D-I. And after listening to that recording, I never ever heard it played anywhere. And I went to a recital at Melton Church a few years ago, and there was a visiting organist there, and he said, I found this wonderful piece of music. Made famous by, or found by, somebody who used to be organist at St Mary Redcliffe in Bristol, which was the recording I had. And he said, I'm going to play it to you now. And I thought, that's that piece I haven't been looking for it, but I wanted to get for the last 50 years. So I said to him, can I have a copy? He said, well, we better not photocopy it, had we? I thought, well, I don't mind, but, He said, I'll give you the ISBN number. So I bought, he said, there might be some other things in the book that you like. Well, most of the other stuff in the book's dreadful. But this particular piece is wonderful. And I was asked at a concert to play some Christmas music, and I hate playing Christmas music because it's just, you can't use it any other time. You never quite know how many Christmases you got left. So I thought, well, I might not get very much use out of it. So I played this offertorio. So the way I used it as a Christmas piece was to say, well, the first bit is in a minor key. So that's like symbolizing the world without light, darkness before light. And then it gets very excitable in the major key, and it's, something special is about to happen. And then you get a huge fanfare declaring the birth of Christ. There we go. That's that bit. And then it ends with something reminiscent of bells. Not the sort of bells that we ring, the ones they ring in Europe where they just pull the whole lot all at once. This jangling effect, which is how it ends. Well, so I hope you think that this is not too far-fetched, but it's I don't know why he called it offertorio. I mean, it's these kind of things called offertory and normally just happen in a service when the offertory is happening. So anyway, I've made it a bit more special, I think. So anyway, Chelsea Fair first by Reg. Right, well, I'm going to play now a piece of French music, to please my friend David. It's by Alexandre Guillemot. Guillemot was lived mainly in the 19th century. He died in 1911. He did a lot to popularise the organ, did lots of concert tours and so on, and lots of flourishing kind of pieces. He must have had enormous hands, actually, because they're huge chords, and not content with having, you know, about a spread like that. It's the same with both hands, and then double pedals as well. So it does make a mighty noise. It's not always a good thing to make a lot of noise. Organists tend to not understand the meaning of the word quiet. You might probably know that. The quiet means just a waste of an opportunity. I was doing an organ recital at Melton Church. Oh, this is quite a few years ago now. And I was in there one morning practicing, and there were some ladies in there cleaning and doing the flowers. And then I'd finished practicing. I went out and I went into, it was Greenwood's gentleman's clothing store, as it happens, across the market, not there anymore. And I went in and I was sort of thumbing through the trousers and shirts and so on. And a lady came in and she said to the woman behind the counter, said, "Oh, hello, Doris. What have you been doing this morning?" She said, "Oh," she said, I've been cleaning in the church." She said, "Oh," she said, "there was this wonderful organist in there, and it was fantastic. It was really loud. I really loved it." I thought, that's me. Anyway, so I found a pair of trousers, went in the cubicle to try them on, and then another lady came in. And the woman behind the counter said, "Oh, hello, Florence." She said, "What have you been doing?" She said, "I've been doing the flowers in the church." She said, "You've never heard such a racket. I couldn't hear myself speak." So there you go. So I stayed in there for a little while until I thought she'd gone. So this piece is called March on the Theme of Handel. And the theme is Lift Up Your Heads. Da, 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 da. Right? From the Messiah. And that theme keeps coming up all the way through this piece by Guillemot. March on the Theme of Handel. Followed by something quiet. And I was thumbing through a big stack of music the other day, and I found this rather nice little arrangement of the Londonderry Air, so we have that afterwards. So. last Monday, I was treated to a birthday surprise at the Bridgewater Hall in Manchester. I don't know how many people have seen Jonathan Scott playing the organ on the internet. He's the most amazing. This is not John Scott, he's a different organist. Jonathan Scott, a Mancunian young, well, I keep calling him a young man, he only looks about 20, I think he's 50. Anyway, shows that playing the organ keeps you youthful. Anyway, he's the most amazing player, and after that, I did suffer a sort of crisis of confidence in a way after seeing how wonderful he was, dashing all over this organ in the Bridgewater Hall. Anyway, and he specialises in arranging orchestral pieces for organ, and his arrangements are incredibly complicated. I'm going to play a simpler arrangement of an orchestral piece now, which is the March from Carmen by Bizet. Bizet, sadly, sort of something of a one-hit wonder, probably wrote one of the best operas ever written, and then everything else he wrote was not particularly brilliant. So Carmen, absolutely amazing tunes from one end to the other. So this contains part of the overture, and then the Toreador song in the middle, and then going back to the overture at the end. So Carmen. I should have said that was the last piece, but so it ended rather abruptly. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ron. That was a very interesting programme. I particularly like the Mendelssohn, because I'm about to do an audition for a scratch orchestra, and we're going to play a Mendelssohn symphony, so I've got to learn the parts and send off an audio recording. So I was told to listen to as much Mendelssohn as possible by my teacher, so that I actually understand and interpret the music correctly. So very useful for me today. Thank you. Right. I'd also like to thank Angela and Diane for looking after the coffee this morning, and for the members of the choir who very kindly have been busy baking the cakes that who've been sampling this morning. So, our next coffee concert is in a month's time on Saturday the 28th of March. Marion Bartholomew will be entertaining us at the piano. So hopefully we'll see many of you here again for that.
I'd just like to thank Tim for turning the pages for me. Thank you very much. And I'd just like to say I've been doing some concerts recently with a former member of the Royal Opera House chorus called Michael Lessiter. He's a Leicester chap. He grew up in Leicester and then went off he joined the D'Oyly Carte, in fact, the D'Oyly Carte Opera Company, singing Gilbert and Sullivan. He toured with them. He's a bass baritone, and then he got a place at the Royal Opera House Covent Garden chorus. And I say we're doing a concert. I'm accompanying him, but he is singing at Hungerton Church next Saturday at the same time as this concert was, 10:30 for 11. So it'd be nice to see some of you there. And on the 16th of May, I'm doing a concert with my next door neighbour, who is a very good folk singer, guitarist and folk singer. So we have a few organ pieces, and his name's Edward Hayes. So that's on the 16th of May at Thurnby Church. But the most immediate thing is next week at Hungerton. Thank you. Thank you, David.
I believe Roy has got something that you should say to you.
Well, thank you, everybody. Not only is it the first of spring tomorrow, which is a bright spark on the horizon, but with us today we have another bright spark in the name of young David Witt. And today is his birthday. It's his second 21st, so I'm unreliably told. But I'd like you all to join together in singing him happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear David. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. Good on you, David.